Belarus dictator Alexander Lukashenko is rushed to Moscow hospital as he falls seriously ill for the second time in a month after collapsing on trip to Russia. Lukashenko mysteriously disappeared from the public eye earlier this month. Reports now say the Belarusian dictator has again fallen ill, too sick to travel. By Will Stewart and James Reynolds published, 14:39 British Summer Time, the 28th of May 2023, updated, 14:53 British Summer Time, the 28th of May 2023. Belarus dictator Alexander Lukashenko has been taken seriously ill for the second time this month in Moscow, reports say. The 68-year-old was said to have been hospitalized in a critical condition after collapsing during a trip to meet close ally Vladimir Putin. He was seen struggling to speak and with a bandaged arm last week after disappearing from the public eye on May 9, sparking rumors around his health. Despite efforts by local authorities to end speculation with photographs and video of the leader performing duties on May 15, doctors are again raising health concerns. His office previously refused to comment. Valery Tsepkalo, Belarusian opposition leader, said, "According to the information we have, which needs additional confirmation, Lukashenko, after meeting with Putin behind closed doors, was urgently taken to the Central Clinical Hospital in Moscow, where he is now located. His condition was assessed by leading Russian doctors as critical, and his blood was purified. He was deemed not fit to travel back to Belarus." Reports said his plane was sent back on the one-hour flight to Minsk to mask his hospitalization in Moscow. Lukashenko is Putin's closest ally over the war in Ukraine, yet there is already speculation that he could have been poisoned by Russian secret services, which may seek an even more obedient leader in charge in Minsk. Tsepkalo said, "The organized measures to save the Belarusian dictator were intended to ward off speculation about the possible participation of the Kremlin in his poisoning. It does not matter whether he returns to working condition or not. Doctors warn of a possible recurrence of relapses." When he fell ill earlier this month, Lukashenko insisted on being rushed back to Minsk, amid rumors he did not trust Russian doctors. He underwent surgery in Minsk, and appeared weak and groggy afterwards. On the 15th of May, authorities released media of him in uniform in an apparent bid to end speculation around his health. Both in Moscow and Minsk he appeared to have a catheter on his arm. Lukashenko said before traveling back to Moscow last week for the annual Eurasian Economic Union (EAEU) summit that he had been suffering from adenovirus, adding, "So I'm not planning to die, guys." He would be tormenting his foes for a long time, he said. On his current condition, Belarus political analyst Dmitry Bolkonets said, "Information about the deterioration of Lukashenko's health is confirmed. He is in the Central Clinical Hospital in Moscow. They are trying to put him on his feet and show the public." He said that, in the event of a threat to his life, Lukashenko may be removed from office. The powers will be transferred to Natalia Kakhanova, Speaker of the Upper House of Parliament, or the Collective Security Council. Kakhanova, 62, is seen as the Belarus Iron Lady, loyal to Lukashenko and Putin. BNE and Tele News said analysts believe poisoning on Putin's orders was very unlikely, since the Kremlin does not want to see Belarus thrown into chaos by a succession struggle and especially would not like to see fresh presidential elections that could spark a fresh wave of mass protests similar to those that followed by the massively falsified elections in August 2020 that returned Lukashenko to office. The rightful president of Belarus is Svyatlana Tikhanovskaya, who was deprived of victory in 2020 by Lukashenko rigging the poll. With Lukashenko's latest illness, she said people must be ready for any scenario. Lukashenko announced earlier this week that Moscow's nuclear weapons are being stationed in his country, a move NATO described as dangerous and irresponsible nuclear rhetoric. Belarus, in Eastern Europe, borders 3 NATO members in addition to Ukraine and Russia. The U.S. said it would monitor the movements, but White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre added that, "We have not seen any reason to adjust our own nuclear posture, nor any indication that Russia is prepared to use nuclear weapons from Belarus." Adblock test. Why?